From crooked walls to bad plumbing jobs, homeowners can sometimes feel trapped dealing with shoddy construction from home builders and contractors.
And these expensive and frustrating problems are something people often ask our Amy Davis about. Amy's here with what you need to know. Amy, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Oh, and Sophia, we see homes going up all over the Houston area. Really all the time. Building is big. It's leading to a lot of questions and concerns, though, about what you thought was your dream home. What happens when it's actually not? Charles Moster with Moster Law Firm represents homeowners against bad builders and contractors, and he warns that often friendly salesperson who is your main contact when you're building a new home will tell you a lot of things off the cuff, sometimes even in writing or by text or email. This is something he says you should really watch out for, even as you're in the middle of the building process. Here's why.
That's very typical. So let's say you meet Joe Jeffrey. If there's a Joe Jeffrey out there, I'm just coming up with a name. And you notice a problem with the roof. It looks like there's problems in construction. You're a layperson, you don't really know, so you bring it to Joe's attention. And he says, well, don't worry about it in an email to you. We'll take care of it. I noticed some problems. Don't worry about it. Or if you see a cost overrun and you send out an email and then Joe gets back to you and saying, well, we'll just simply reduce it from the purchase price or the price of the contract. Don't worry about it. Guess what? There's something called a merger clause in a contract. And what a merger clause says, or an entireties clause, at the very bottom, so it's merger or entireties, what it means is that the representations made by good old Joe in an email, who's your best friend when he took your money, are not admissible in court because you're stuck in the four corners of the agreement. If it doesn't give you the language that's in his email, a court will not even look at it.
Yeah, so meaning anything the builder says or writes outside of the contract won't hold up in court. Often people are given a device, like an iPad, to read and electronically sign the contract. He says that makes it even more difficult to see these types of clauses. You should always ask to get a copy of anything you sign before you sign it, so you can read it over and ask questions about anything that concerns you. You'll want to screen all builders that you're considering, and you can do that by getting 3 references. Be extra careful with small builders who might not have capital to fix your problems if something goes wrong or if you have to sue. And today you can check out the full Ask Amy episode at 11 a.m. on KPRC2+, where we explain what some laws can help and to do and not to do if you find yourself in a bind with a builder. Owen, Sophia.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing. Everybody's doing everything electronically. You need that in writing and in paper form, right? Like a good copy.
And they're going to tell you, like, oh, we don't do it that way. Sign here and then we'll send you a copy. Well, if you sign and then they send you a copy and you have a question, it's too late.
Right. Yeah, you got to basically get them to redo the contract if there's a change, like big enough change like that, for sure. Thanks, Amy. Appreciate that. Check out the podcast for
Amy,
sure.
thank you.